in this beat.
Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day. Every single day, y'all. Every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, you are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. We got a good one today, y'all. I said we got a good one today, y'all. We are talking about, is this 2024 class? Is this 2024 class the best in South Carolina women's basketball history? Is it the best class that Dawn Staley has assembled? Is this the one? Is this the one? Now, we've had so many nice recruiting classes over the past 10 years. We had some nice recruiting classes. If you are the three-time national champions and you've won 2 out of the last 3 national championships, you have some good recruiting classes. You are doing something right. And obviously, Coach Staley and staff have been doing something right. Now, it's tough to judge what this 2024 recruiting class is going to do because it's so early. They ain't even started yet, right? They ain't started yet, but we just talk about it on paper. We just talk about it on paper, okay? And in order to get a analysis, in order to have a great assessment of what we would think is the best recruiting class in the history of South Carolina women's basketball, we got to go back. We got to take it way back, right? But before we do that, let's do it's Captain Will's time. So it's shot o'clock. It's shot o'clock wherever you may be. Shot o'clock time on a Tuesday night, June the 25th, Tuesday evening, and it's so hot outside. So hot outside. It's just like, I mean, you can fry an egg out there. You can probably put a hamburger out there. You can do whatever you want to do out there, and it'll cook very easily. Very easily. The grandbaby was outside playing all day. They come in 15 minutes in, about 5-10 minutes out, because you got to monitor the time. Monitor the time. And we got all kinds of stuff outside in the backyard for them to play with, but it's just too hot. So in honor of this hot time, tomorrow is supposed to be the hottest day of the summer, or the hottest day of the year. Woo! I tell you, shot o'clock, y'all. Shot o'clock. So let's go back. Let's go back. So you're talking about, let's begin with the 2014 recruiting class. 2014 recruiting class, which was, on paper, an amazing recruiting class. You're talking about 4 5-star recruits in the 2014 recruiting class. 4. But everything ain't on paper. Everything ain't on paper. You got A'ja Wilson. A'ja Wilson, the one that has a statue out in front of Colonial Life Arena. Number 1 overall pick in the WNBA. Was the number 1 high school basketball player in the country. Was a part of that 2014 recruiting class. She lived up to expectation, and she's the best player in the world right now. A'ja Wilson was a part of that 2014 class. Jatarie White. Y'all remember Jatarie White? Do y'all remember Jatarie White? Jatarie White was a 7th ranked player in the recruiting class in 2014. This was supposed to be the Twin Towers. This was supposed to be Twin Towers, right? So you're supposed to have Jatarie White at 6'5" and A'ja Wilson 6'5". You got number 1 ranked player and you got a number 7 ranked player. That didn't work out too tight. It didn't work out too tight. It just did not. Over 2 years, she averaged about 3 points, 3 rebounds, about 12, 13 minutes of play. That was not how it was supposed to be. That is not how the 7th ranked player in the class of 2014 was supposed to pan out. Then she transferred over to Texas. Okay. Y'all remember Jaydra Duckett? Jaydra Duckett was a 32nd ranked player in the 2014 recruiting class. Guard. Didn't work out too tight either. Ended up at Coastal Carolina. Ended up Coastal Carolina. So a lot of times the players that you project, the ones that you want to see, the ones that we have won the recruiting class, #1 overall. Once that basketball started bouncing, once games start, when scrimmages start, you actually see who can live up to those rankings, because everybody doesn't. Some live up to the rankings, some do not live up to the rankings, some rise up to and surpass the rankings. Bianca Cuevas Moore. I loved me some Bianca Cuevas Moore. I remember watching her in the McDonald's All-American game. I say, oh, she's going to be nice for the South Carolina women's basketball team. She was the 35th ranked player in that class. Guard, diminutive, small, lightning quick, can shoot it. Average about 8-9 points a game for South Carolina. I loved Bianca Cuevas Moore. I did. That was the 2014 recruiting class. Adrian Wilson obviously was the star, was the bullet, was the smiley face with a circle on it in that class. And of all classes so far at South Carolina. But we only hit out of, I say we were playing spades out of the 4. We had about one in the possible. One in the possible. I don't think that Bianca Cuevas Moore lived up to her expectation, or the expectation that we had in South Carolina for a 5-star recruit. I don't think she did. But when in the revisionist history, when you are the 35th ranked player, it's not like you're the 10th ranked player, the 15th ranked player, the 5th ranked player. Maybe she did live up to the expectation. Maybe that is what she was. I just feel there was something left. I left a little unfulfilled with Bianca. I did. Jatarie White, not 7th in the class. It didn't live up to the expectations in South Carolina. Jaydra Duckett, nope. Neither one. But that was our 2014 class. 2015, we had nobody. Nah, no one. 2016. This is what happens when you surpass the expectations of your recruiting cycle. 2016, you had two key players who won a championship for the South Carolina women's basketball team. And we still talk about those two players. One particular player, one in particular, Ty Harris. Ty Harris, point guard extraordinaire, doing work for the Connecticut Sun, doing work, playing. And the Connecticut Sun is the best WNBA team in basketball, my opinion. And she's a starter. She's playing a role. She's shooting them shots, a high 3-point percentage. You know, the defense, all those great things. And Ty Harris at the University of South Carolina showed their leadership and point guard skills. She was a 28th ranked player in that 2016 class. 28th player got drafted in the first round. This was Ty Harris. She surpassed her ranking. She's going to have a long WNBA career. She was 28th in the class. Somebody, do anybody remember Mad Kiki? Mad Kiki, she far outplayed her 72nd ranking in the class of 2016. 4-star recruit. Kiki is in the W. She's played overseas multiple years. She's a champion. We all remember her blocking shots and staring at folks. That's how the Mad Kiki term came out. Now she's knocking down 3-pointers. She fought long and hard to get back to the WNBA after playing some awesome years across the pond. Kiki was the 72nd ranked player. She wasn't supposed to be who she was. Kiki was an outstanding player for the South Carolina Gamecocks, and she was a key component in that championship winning team. Her and Ty Harris were amazing. But in between those two, Araion Bradshaw. Araion Bradshaw, 33rd. 33rd in the rankings. Another point guard. That didn't pan out. She ended up at Dayton. So out of the three recruits that we had in 2016 class, 2 out of 3 hit. 2 out of 3 hit. So you go back to 2014, you got Asia. You got Bianca Cuevas more. 2016, you got Ty, you got Kiki. No wonder we won the chip in 17. Because you hit on some stars. You hit on some key components to a championship level team. 2017, it was a small draft class. 2017, we got Grissett. Grissett seemed like she played for South Carolina 8-9 years. I'm telling you, it seemed like she played for a long, long time. I mean, Grissett was a 23rd ranked player. Played guard, played wing, whatever you want to say. She was a lifer at the University of South Carolina, and she played she had a role player type role for South Carolina. I don't think she lived up to expectations of being the 23rd ranked player in that class of 2017, but she did some stuff. Okay? She did some stuff, and she can't be forgotten. 2017 was a class that was left a little to be desired, though. It just left a little to be desired. We just got to say, Bianca Jackson, 43rd ranked player. 43rd ranked player. Played 2 years at USC, averaged about 7.3 rebounds, couple assists. Then moved on to Florida State, played a couple years there, played at Georgia Tech. And she was 43rd. She Bianca Jackson, I think she played her role. I think she did well for her ranking. And she ended up becoming a better and better player when she left South Carolina, Florida State, and Georgia Tech. 7.3 rebounds, couple assists, and a couple years at University of South Carolina is pretty good. It's not bad, especially when you ranked 43rd in your recruiting class. I think she did pretty well. So I would say that's an even split, if not a little better. I mean, and she was nice. I can't lie, she was nice. I think some folks forgot about LaDazhia Williams, because LaDazhia Williams, she was also in the 2017 class, and more folks kind of think about her not being in South Carolina. More folks think about her being at LSU, but she was at South Carolina. She was at Missouri. She's at LSU. When she was at Carolina, she didn't do much. She was the 48th ranked player in her recruiting class, 2017, but she only averaged a couple points, maybe a rebound per game in 2 years. She dug deep and got better as a player at Missouri and LSU. It didn't happen at South Carolina. It just didn't happen. And sometimes it don't. So 2017 class was okay. Wasn't good. It was okay. Just an okay rating. It was a 3 out of 5, I say. 3 out of 5. Grissett was a hustler. She was a rebounder. She was a defensive player. Bianca Jackson did a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And Williams ended up being a solid player, a good player for LSU. But if you have to go back now, because you don't know. You really don't know how these recruiting classes are going to be until 3 or 4 years down the road. Then you can look back on it and say, okay, that was a nice recruiting class. Those ladies showed up and showed out. And it sometimes it's tough because I like the numbers. I love all those different things but it's so difficult to rank a recruiting class when they ain't did nothing. Or when a university or is crowned as the number one recruiting class, and then a couple years later, ain't nobody in that recruiting class on that team. Just gone. Done transferred out, because now, back then the NIL wasn't a thing. But now the NIL space is something huge. So you got a whole lot of people into the transfer portal and playing for multiple teams for multiple years. That didn't happen in 14, 15, 16, 17. Those things didn't happen. But when you move on, we moving on over 2018. Now you're starting to get that quality talent that we are now accustomed to. That quality talent that it signifies Carolina basketball. 2018, we got Destanni Henderson. Destanni Henderson was a 6th ranked player in the country. Destanni Henderson was a dog. She was a dog at South Carolina. She was a scorer. She was a scorer, and she was a scorer. And she let you know, I'm going to score the ball. That was Destanni Henderson. She was nice. She wasn't afraid of anything. And I think it's a travesty that Destanni Henderson is not in the W right now. You telling me Destanni Henderson can't help a WNBA team right now? You think she can't get no buckets? I don't believe that whatsoever. On a team that needs scoring, Chicago Sky, at the guard position, you are telling me that Destanni Henderson can't help the Chicago Sky get some buckets. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all. And shoot, for Indiana Fever. She was on Indiana Fever and they got rid of her. She was on Atlanta Dream and they got rid of her. You telling me that she can't come in and get some buckets off the bench? Come on, bro. That was also the class that had Victaria Saxton. Victaria Saxton was a 47th ranked player in that recruiting class, and you already know she's outplayed that ranking. You already know that. She's way outplayed that ranking. She's in a class right now. I mean, she's in a second year with Indiana Fever. Does she play much? No, she don't play much. But you know it is tough to stay on a WNBA roster. It is tough. Celeste Taylor just got cut. Celeste Taylor from Ohio State, drafted in the 2nd round, just got cut by Indiana Fever. Did she get a fair shake? I don't know. I'm not in the practices. I don't see what's going on. But she just got cut, and we knew she could ball at Ohio State. So Victaria Saxton's still hanging on. She doing something right. And I like it. She was a mainstay for USC. She was a good role player. 2019, I'm talking about the year of the freshies. 2019, you talking about 5 5-star recruits. 5. You talking about 4 5-star recruits. You talking about Aliyah Boston, who was 3rd in her class. 3rd in the class. Zia Cooke, who was 4th. Laeticia Amihere, who was 10th. Bree Beal, who was 11th. Outstanding recruiting class. The freshies. Amazing recruiting class. To this point, we talking about the 2019, that was the best recruiting class under Coach Dawn Staley. The best. Not even close. You got 4 players who were drafted into the W. 4 of them. You got 4 players that won a championship. 4 of them, 2022. Aliyah Boston, Rookie of the Year, #1 overall pick, putting in work this year, playing outstanding basketball over the last 5-6 games. Indiana Fever playing well. A big part of that is because of Aliyah Boston. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Champion, defender, block shots, do all those great things. Zia Cooke, 4th overall. Zia Cooke in the 2019 recruiting class, drafted to the Los Angeles Sparks. And over the last 3 games, she's been balling with them. She was out of the rotation with the Sparks. And I was tripping, like, why is Zia Cooke not getting no playing time? Well, the last 2-3 games, she's averaged about 12, 13 points per game off the bench. She's a bucket getter. That combination of those 2 players, Aliyah Boston, Zia Cooke, 2019, we can stop right there and say those were 2 solid, definite hits in that recruiting class. 2 definites. But then you move on to Laeticia Amihere, who was a 10th overall recruit in the 2019 class. Some will say that she didn't live up to the expectations of what a 10th overall recruit is supposed to be. Some would say that. She was drafted to the W by the Atlanta Dream. She's barely playing any minutes for them. Barely. I thought her combination of size and speed and quickness and block shots and defense will get on the court more. She ain't get on the court at all. She is not getting on the court at all. And it's been brought up a couple times to their head coach about why isn't Amihere playing? She said someone else is playing better. And nothing I can say. But I loved her game. And it was a debate. It was a debate in our household in terms of her being drafted too high. You know, it was a debate. I thought that Amihere was going to do more at South Carolina than she did, but she played, because her versatility was amazing. She played so many different positions, all these positions, but she was never great at any position. But that's why I thought she was going to be a really good pro at the WNBA level, because she plays so many positions. You can plug and play her various different ways and get something out of her, but that has not happened so far. Bree Beal was 11th ranked player in the 2019 class. She was drafted. She got cut. She tried to come back. She got cut. But we remember Bree Beal as that stopper on defense against those quote unquote best perimeter players. That's what we remember. We remember Bree Beal shutting people down. For the 4 years that she served at the University of South Carolina, she was a phenomenal defensive player. She did work on the defensive end. And again, she didn't make the aces. She didn't make the team that, defending, two-time defending champions. She didn't make that team. So there ain't no other teams that can use a defensive stopper like Bree Beal. Nobody. Some of these bad teams in the W, you talking about the Mystics, you talking about the Fever, neither one of these teams play any defense. None of these teams play any defense. You talking about a team like, I'm gonna go back to Chicago Sky. You telling me a team like Chicago Sky couldn't have, you talking about if you have Reese and Camila and Bree Beal on the court at the same time, it ain't a whole lot of baskets that's gonna be made. Now, she ain't going to score you a bunch of points. She won't, but she can stop some folks. And there are a whole lot of people in the NBA that's making a ton of money just playing defense. But Bree can't do that? Nah, bro. I think you're missing that. I really do. You just don't let those type players just be sitting on the curb just waiting to get picked. You can't have them in the dugout waiting to get called up. No. But this class, 2019, was amazing. It was amazing. And they got a championship. Thought it was going to get 2. They got 1. 2020, you talking about Eniya Russell. Eniya Russell was 43rd ranked point guard, 43rd ranked player, point guard, played a year, moved on to Kentucky, played decent, average about 9-10 points. We saw her in Kentucky a few times. And then into transfer portal over this offseason. And now is playing at Mississippi State. Just bouncing around. I want to go to this SEC team. I want to go to this SEC team. I want to go to this SEC team. If it don't work out with Mississippi State, I'm going to go to another SEC team. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, you just got to stay put. Stay put. And just work in the situation you at. If this situation don't work for me, maybe I try this next job. But eventually, you got to put down some roots. And when you got to put down some roots, you got to I'm good with this. But the NIL thing is changing the game because a lot of folks are trying to, find their right position on the right team and get the right amount of points and playing time and all these great things. But there ain't no such thing as everything being right. Something's going to be wrong in every situation that you have. And I think that's going to be the problem for a lot of these players in this era are trying to find the absolute best situation. But you don't know the best situation. You don't know the best situation. The best situation for Russell might have been staying in South Carolina and getting better. Or it might have been staying in Kentucky. Now moving on to Mississippi State. If that the best situation, in Mississippi State, it's so confusing now. It's so confusing. I'm so glad that this coaching staff, whatever they're saying, whatever they're doing, are able to keep this team together, regardless of the talent that is on this squad. They're able to keep the team together. It's amazing. When you got other teams being destroyed, going everywhere. I never forget Oregon State after they played us. And that coach was talking about they played ball the right way and they did this the right way and all these things. It's a privilege to play for Oregon State. And damn near all their players transferred after that. Like, just gone. Well, apparently that wasn't the right way. Maybe he knew. Maybe he was trying to do a recruiting pitch in those post-game interviews. It's a lot of stuff, a lot of movement. So we just talked about the 2020 class and then the 2021 class. 2021 class. On paper, the 2021 class should have been the best class that South Carolina has ever had. Should have been. Still can be. There's potential for this team, this 2021 recruiting class, to surpass the freshies. The first way that this team, this 2019 recruiting class, can surpass the freshies if they win another chip this year. That's the first way. That is the first way. If they win 2 chips in their recruiting cycle, that says a lot about that recruiting class. Raven Johnson was a second-ranked player in the 2021 class, number 1 point guard. Okay? Raven Johnson, Hollywood, crock pot, whatever you want to name Raven Johnson, is going to her red shirt junior year after having a very good red shirt sophomore year. She is going in hot, ready to repeat, confident. Her shot from the field, from the three-point line, both increased. Her defense got better. It was on display for 13 million folks to see. Raven Johnson, as of June the 25th, is currently number 14th on the WNBA big board for 2025. But she has another year if she chooses to do so. Now, us as Gamecock fans, we obviously want Raven Johnson to come back. She needs to come back. We want her to come back. Raven Johnson, if you're watching this, and when you're watching this, I know you be watching Captain Will. All y'all watch Captain Will. Come back, girl. Go in 2026. Come on back. Let's run this thing back. Get the chip this year, then run it back again, get another. Go down potentially as back to back champion. That's what you have the opportunity to do. I really feel that way. So I want Raven Johnson to come back, and whatever we need to do to make sure she comes back after the season, we need to do. Sania Rivers was the number 3 recruit out of that class. Sania Rivers, point guard. And I thought that Sania was going to be a mainstay for South Carolina, but she decided to move on to North Carolina State, and she played well. She is playing a whole lot. She's playing a whole lot. She is growing into a better player. She was at the dog camp this offseason with Raven. You know, that Kelsey Plum dog camp, she was there. And now we know that when we played them, when South Carolina played North Carolina State in the tournament, she had a horrible game. That defense put it on her. Let's just keep it real. That defense put it on her. And Raven Johnson had a lot to do with it. Now we played them again, November the 10th, up here in Charlotte, Queen City. And if I had to make a prediction, it's going to be the same way, but probably worse. I'm just saying. But Sania Rivers is a 3rd-ranked player in that recruiting class and transferred out after a freshman year. And I believe that she will continue to get better and better and make this recruiting class even better, even though she's not on the Gamecocks. Sania Feagin was a 4th-ranked player. See, this is how it was, right? In 2021, you had South Carolina, according to ESPN, we had the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th-ranked players in this recruiting cycle. That was unheard of. It was unheard of. With Raven, Rivers, and Feagin. Has Feagin lived up to the fourth recruit in that cycle? Not yet. Not yet. That's why I say that potentially this recruiting cycle can be better than 2019. Potentially. I don't know if it's going to be. But Sania Feagin made a big jump this past season. And I expect her to make another large jump this season, her last season. I really do. If she makes the jump to an outstanding player in her senior season, this 2021 class was really, really good. Really, really good, which brings me to Bree Hall. Bree Hall was a 14th ranked player in this cycle. She sat a lot in the freshman year, sat a lot in her sophomore year, played a lot her junior year, and she's going to play a lot her senior year. Bree grew into a big shot maker, a captain on the South Carolina Gamecocks. I expect her to get better as well. It's not new. It's not new for Bree. It's not new for Sania. It's not new for Raven. It's not new for those players who've done this before. It's not new. They just went 38-0. 2020, it was in 2022, they played a little bit. This past season, they played a lot. And this upcoming season, they're gonna play a lot more. It has the potential to better that 2019 recruiting class. If they get 2 championships again, ladies and gentlemen, they will go down better than the freshies. They will, because that's 2 champs. Now we can say that they didn't play much in that 2022 season. I can see. But I think there's a chance. 2022, we had Ashlyn Watkins. Ashlyn Watkins from the crib. 12th ranked player overall, post player. Ashlyn Watkins, probably the strongest player in college basketball. We know that. Most athletic player in college basketball. We know that. She's a baller. And I expect her to start this upcoming season. Last season, we had 9.7 rebounds, 2.5 blocks per game. Outstanding defense. Her defensive rating was lower than anybody in the country. At 21 minutes. Well, she's going to play more than 21 minutes this year. She's going to ball. She's going to ball this year. And I expect greatness for her this season. Also, it was Talaysia Cooper. Talaysia Cooper was 18th ranked player from South Carolina. Point guard. She was another line of supposedly the best point guards in Carolina history. Following along the lines of Ty and Raven and Henny and and Cook, all these different outstanding guards. But she left. She left last summer. And transferred to Tennessee. And she transferred late, and she had to sit out at Tennessee. But she'll be playing this season. I don't know what she has. I don't know. I haven't seen her play in a while. Because she's from South Carolina, I want her to do well. I thought she had crazy talent. I just think that she moved too quick and left when she didn't need to leave. That's just my opinion. 2023 class. 2023 class with Milaysia Fulwiley. Milaysia Fulwiley, 13th overall. Okay. Chloe Kitts, 17th overall. Those are 2 outstanding players. Then when you throw in Tessa Johnson, 25th overall, and you throw in Sania Jah, 40th overall, that's an outstanding recruiting class. And we only in 1 year in. We're only 1 year in. Milaysia Fulwiley is going to be a star, if she's not already a star right now. Chloe Kitts is going to be a very good basketball player. She averaged 9.6 rebounds last season. Okay. Then you have Tessa Johnson, who grew so much last season. It's crazy. That was Tessa Johnson scoring buckets in the biggest games in the tournament, SEC and the NCAA tournament. That was Tessa Johnson doing that thing. Sania Jah transferred out. But this 2023 recruiting class can potentially be one of the best, if not the best, that we've had. We'll be looking back like, say in 2026, we're like, oh boy, that 2023 class was sensational. Sensational. And I think it can be. I think it can be. I think that 2023 class could get 2 chips or more. They already got 1, and they wasn't Milaysia didn't play no 2, 3, 4 minutes. Tessa didn't play no little 2, 3, 4 minutes. You know, Chloe ain't played no 2, 3, 4 minutes. They played a lot of minutes. A lot of minutes, which brings me to the 2024 class, who are on campus, who are ready to play. And you start with Joyce Edwards by ESPN she's a 3rd-ranked player. And everybody know in the world that she ain't no 3rd-ranked player in the country in basketball. We all know that. But that's neither here nor there. I've been saying that for months and months and months. And if you've been rocking with me, you already know that is how it is. But you have a situation with Madison McDaniel. Oh, Maddie McDaniel, who is the 14th-ranked player in the class and the 2nd-ranked point guard in the class, who's going to be an amazing, amazing player. She's going to be an outstanding prospect going forward. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And Adele Tack, I don't know how good Adele Tack going to be. I have no idea how good this young lady is going to be. What I do know is that she's ranked 28th in the recruiting class. I do know she's 6'5", 6'6". I do know she's coming off an injury, but she redshirted. Yeah, she redshirted. Medical redshirt. She signed in early, came in and went to class and all those different things and rehabbed and got stronger and working with Molly. All those great things. She could be. There's what if Adele Tack exceeds all expectations and balls out? What if she's the post player that we need, that we deserve? What if that happens? That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. I don't know how good the 2024 class is going to be. I don't know. But on paper, I would not bet against this class. It's right on par with 2023 and 2019. And I think 2023 has the potential to be better than 2019 and 2021. That's how I feel about the 2023 class. You got to win. It's only 1 year in for Fulwiley and the crew. Edwards, Maddie, Adele, they ain't even started yet. The freshies got receipts of what they did. But these other class are nothing to play with. They ain't. Now, let's go through some of these questions, right? Let's go through some of these questions. And hey, thank you, Shakim. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love you, Cap. I miss you. I finally caught her live. I missed Honey and Sweet Tea. Let's take a shot for Joyce. She is the truth. We know this. ESPN is biased. Their rankings is horrible. Hey, brother, thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Robert, hey, Cap, I'm a new subscriber and a big fan of the Gamecocks. Thank you. Thank you for joining the party. Thank you for joining. The best Gamecock women's basketball coverage. It is the best. No matter who else is talking about it, it's the best going on. Because, talk to somebody. You already know. You already know what it is. And appreciate you, fam. Virgil Wimberly, let's go, Cam Will. Let's go. Robert, yes, it may very well be. Joyce Edwards is still in the class by far. For her, for you to say that, Robert, and say she's still in the class when ESPN got her ranked 3rd, it says something, right? It says something because when Team USA needed a bucket, Joyce was the one. When she was playing with Nike Summit and she brought that team back on her back, brought the United States team The United States versus the world was on Joyce Edwards' back, and she brought him back. If you haven't seen that game, go YouTube that one too. Okay? When there were buckets, when there were rebounds, when there were a situation that United States had to win in the Nike Summit or in the gold medal game, Joyce Edwards was getting those buckets or rebounds. That's what she was doing. Jonathan McQueen, all love. Captain Will, what's up? What's up? Pauline, what's up? Hey, Captain Will, let's get it. Same with you, Darren Garcia. Let's get it. It's so crazy, right? Robert said Sarah let me down. I thought she was going to compete for MVP during the America Cup. I was I mean, real talk, I was a little surprised. And international play is physical. And I think Joyce is made for that. I think Joyce is made for the physicality. I think Kennedy Smith is made for the physicality. I think Betts is made for the physicality. I really do. Everybody's not made for the physicality. I don't know. I just don't. DT, I mean, you said I don't think she likes a lot of contact. She didn't like it there. I don't know. DT, I love Bianca. She was so quick. She was so quick. And I sometimes Google, like, where's Bianca Cuevas more right now? It's like, she was like, because that year, I mean, I liked her more than Asia from the crib. It was something about Bianca Cuevas more. She was little, but she was quick, and she was like, she from New York City, so she had that little, I don't know what you want to call it, that thing, that swag, you know. I was just like, wow. Yeah, Bianca was a spark plug. Telly is my daughter. Heart. Love you. Urban Pageant. Joyce is a better all-around player than Sarah. She is. She definitely is. Yeah, everybody loved Bianca Cuevas more. Everybody. I wish she became more of a fixture at these USC games. Folks would love to see Bianca Cuevas more. Walking around, on the Jumbotron, all those cool things. I really do. JT, it took a while to Ty Rowell to come around her junior year. She was on point. She was. Yeah, something is like the switch went on with Ty, and she's like, bam, I'm her. I am her. And she did so well. Everybody loves Kiki. And she, I mean, that's why sometimes the rankings are just wrong, just dead wrong. She was not the 72nd ranked player. She outgrew that quickly. And she is have a special place in Gamecocks hearts all the way around. JB, also glad that Don talked Kiki out of transferring. You and me both. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Sessions was a big get for us. And now, with Sessions, I love the idea of bringing back former players on the staff because they already been there before. They know all the ins and outs. They know how the coaching staff ticks, how Dawn Staley ticks. It's just great. It's just great all around. And I love it more when that player is a point guard, because we all know that Dawn Staley is hard on point guards and she be giving them that business. But if you're getting it also from Sessions who already been through that business, it just hits a little different. It really does. It really does. Virgil, yeah, bro. It's hot outside. It's hot. Marcus Spencer is going to be tough. It's going to be hard to beat the 2019 Boston Cooke, Beal, and Amihere. That's true. It's going to be tough. That was a sensational group of players. Sensational. And Boston is putting in work. Cooke has been in work. I mean, at the next level, they're balling too. Brandon Booker said Bianca Jackson had a nice midi. Yeah. Getting a lot of love from Henny. Henny was great for South Carolina. Great. She had so many big buckets. It's just so crazy how she did that and be so small. She did that. And again, it's no way that she can't be doing in W. I don't sometimes I don't know what it's seeing. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know. It just trips me out. It just keep working. Keep working. We have so many great players. So many great players playing in the W. And you're not going to have all these great players getting, 30 minutes of time. They may only get 10 minutes of time. They might only get 12 minutes of time. But the W is so difficult. When you have 10 players out of 144 players that play in a garnet and black uniform, you doing something right at South Carolina. That means that's why Dawn is always smiling, because pretty much every game she watches is a USC player playing, either on some team, and then on some teams you got multiples. And you're going to add more with Pow Pow next year, potentially Raven. Come on now. It's just crazy. Just crazy. It's just crazy. It's awesome to see. And it just continue to get better as we move forward with, the season in general. This class, 2024 class, obviously I love. I've been talking about Maddie since last August. I've been talking about Joyce before I started the podcast, in Adele Tack. And the cool thing about it, when Maddie committed, I was the first one to do an interview. I didn't know what I was doing, but I did an interview with her. Had Joyce on my show. Had Adele on my show. They were all great. Lovely people. Gonna be playing amazing for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Just in a matter of time. In a matter of time. We'll reassess. Matter of fact, we'll reassess this time next summer, after another championship is celebrated in Columbia. But I would say this right here. Gamecocks ain't going nowhere. UCLA. Gamecocks ain't going nowhere. Southern Cal, UConn, LSU, Tennessee, Notre Dame. Whatever team you want to talk about, Gamecocks ain't going nowhere. Matter of fact, we here. This concludes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. You're now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, and that includes everybody who joined in today, everybody who subscribed today, keep rocking with your man, Captain Will. Let's go.